Welcome to Biophilian's Kitchen.
Good morning, sir. I've been following you, so I'm aware of most of the things because I can't be. But there are three major questions basically. I'm a trustee of a cancer hospital,
Yes.
basically in Rahul. So the first thing I would like to know is, it's a very large question, so it's not possible to answer it at one go. Effect of the way you're treating people with millets and sort of retarding the cancerous growth or whatever. Some light on that
Yeah.
generally.
The first question about cancer. The nature of this disease, people are actually confused. Blood cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer, this cancer. There are 21 types of cancers. But all are cancers, that we should understand. But then the present day medical system tries to differentiate everything and make it very complicated. So I don't see cancer as a big disease. It's also one of the diseases. And the general understanding is that there is a cell which is supposed to have control over its growth pattern, which has lost. And the consequences of that is that it starts disturbing other organs.
That's
and
what is normally done.
that is so there is somewhere some trigger which is missing. So instead of the new cells that are generated being diversified, you see, our body keeps generating new cells. The blood cells in 3 months, the skin cells much faster. All this general knowledge is there for us. So somewhere, some part of our body, whether it is breast cancer or brain cancer or blood cancer, something is gone wrong, and that particular cells, we call, say, lung means lung cells, then we call it sarcoma if it is connected to bones, if it is connected carcinoma, and different names, lymphoma, all are cancer only. So there is no real difference. So that means the trigger of the same thing happening again and again is the disease actually. It is not the tumor, they are all products of cancer. So removing the brain tumor doesn't solve the problem. And then burn it with chemo, burn it with radiotherapy doesn't solve the problem, because the disease is not the product. And all the techniques that these guys are using, so-called advanced technologies, cancer hospitals, all are doing, they are trying to fight the product of the cancer, not the cancer. And that's why the problem persists. Oh, they declare it's over, and after 3 months I am here. In another part it comes up. And then they call it is metastasis. So meta word is used if you don't understand something. Metaphysics, meta thing, meta. So keep the word meta and then say, cross the fingers. Oh, you come back after 3 months, we will see. What will they see? They will see some other tumor or somewhere else, something else happens. And this is the story of all the cancer hospitals all over the world. And all other guys go there and get trained and then start another unit. So simple, isn't it? I mean, the logic is very simple. You need to see that the trigger, how that particular cell is growing without control. So somewhere you have to do something there. And that is not material. It is non-material. So how do we touch that part is to make our system recognize that. So that is what we are trying to do with these wonderful grains, which have got what is called, and that lady asked the question, why do we need to make it after harvest sit for 3 months? And that lignans, actually they are precursors of wood. And what is wood? You pass through, electricity doesn't pass through. Why? The electrons are not moving through. Why? Because there is a pool of electrons called aromatic polymer. Lignin is an aromatic polymer. All electrons rotating themselves like musical chair. They are running around and running around. So all these electric discharges, the EMF, which is generating this carcinogenic superoxide radicals or free radicals, which have got disturbed in the cells, and that cleaning happens with these lignons. So the generation of that, you see, this is where very clearly you should understand. It is the toxicity generated by our metabolic activities which is triggering something which is unwanted. So this toxicity generated is if you put a full stop by providing in the food itself lignans on daily basis. And these lignans are, some are soluble, some are insoluble. So the channel, the digestive canal that is generating itself is cleaning in the first place by insoluble fiber, and the soluble fiber which is rotating, floating around in the blood also does this job there and then. So this is where we find the food that we are eating stops this process of generating toxicity in the body. You do that, but by fasting you cannot live. I do not advise people to go on fasting. Once in a while you don't get food, you fast. Say you are traveling, instead of eating all the rubbish, you better fast. Don't make it every day I have to fast, or every 3 days you have to fast. Okay, once a month you can fast. In fact, this point people have told, our ancestors have told, Krishna Paksha Ekadasi. Krishna Paksha Ekadasi. That is when the moon is waning, that particular 11th day you, some day find some magnetic pulses are different and your body is in not tune with things, it will be disturbed, so don't eat that. Some other explanation. But according to me, you fast when you don't get the right food. So you see something bad, don't eat one day. So I go to some place and said, they give me all this rubbish, I just take a little bit. I say, no, that's enough. But if I find millet and I make tati bellam and all that, then I eat. So fasting need not be your major curing processes. That's nonsense. Okay. So your question, I think, though answers are, I hope you are understanding. It is a loaded question. It's a big. Yeah, it's a loaded question, but I have to answer all these things, and that's how these guys are working. See, how do we understand these things? So we find hundreds of people getting better. So there must be something right with this. And so the basic cause is non-material, but then we have to connect it to the food that we are eating. So when your food is right, the toxicity of the metabolic activities is not generated. So the food is defined now with our siridhanya is something that not only gives you energy, but also cleans your body on a daily basis. And for that, the structure of these wonderful grains is responsible. And what is the key ingredient here is the fiber. It's not just the fiber, the way it is arranged in this grain, so that it regulates the release of glucose slowly and steadily. So all these issues are intertwined, sir, as the fiber is intertwined with the carbohydrate in the grain. All these concepts are intertwined when we eat the right food. The word right is defined by making our body clean and healthy on a daily basis, if not daily basis, weekly basis. So that's why we tell people, keep eating the siridhanya, change them once in 2 days. Don't keep eating the same grain. I like foxtail millet, so keep eating for 365 days for example. That means the fiber, nature of the fiber can only clean your lungs and nerves. Whereas if you eat kodo, it cleans your bone marrow. You eat barnyard, it will clean your soft parts of the body like spleen, pancreas, liver. So all these issues are rolled into these wonderful grains. So that's how it cures cancer. And that's how these cancer hospitals are not curing. Because they are not They don't care. Oh, you can eat chicken soup, you can do this, you can do that, but come and have chemotherapy. So how will it help?
Sir, not all hospitals.
No, general, sir.
I want to tell you that
No, I am not.
we concentrate more on the basics. We ask them, in fact I am part of it, where we are asking them to go down to basics, go down to nature and reduce as much as processed food and other things. So we are also doing that same. I love your magazine, sir. Let food be your medicine.
And that is Hippocrates, not me.
No,
I quote that and say we have to go beyond that. That see, what that saying, let food be your medicine and medicine be thy food or something like that he says. But that is Hippocrates, he told 2500 years ago. But there is another thing, that if your food is right, there is no medicine, necessity of medicine. This is what I tell.
Correct, sorry.
Yeah. I understand. No, many people mistake to Hippocrates because I am telling something different. If your food is right, there is no need of medicine. I am going one step beyond. So we don't need medicines. If you are healthy, why do you need medicines? So our attention should be how to be healthy rather than after becoming sick and go on searching the paths how to become healthy. But funnily enough, these grains will cure whatever diseases you have. It is cancer, HIV, because this is the essence of living. And luckily, I think we have missed the bus. The human race has missed the bus in identifying the right food for us, because the nature is the kitchen for all living things on this planet.
Absolutely.
And a cat eats what it is supposed to eat.
Grass also.
And when it is not well, it goes and eats grass. But it doesn't eat grass daily. It goes and hunts some insects and some lizards and things like that. And that is there. But we, with so-called, we have been going in the wrong way. And that's why we are sick and we are not able to solve our problems. This is the sad story of human race. So we have found something which can actually help us to be healthy, and that's why actually I am finding it difficult because no paper wants to write this, no doctor wants to communicate this, because they have turned their things into business. Sorry, with all due respect.
Absolutely, sir.
I don't want to go back in my accusations because they have not helped us. The doctors have not helped us. The so-called Western science has not helped us. They are all fooling us. According to me, with all these big theories, oh, it is hereditary, it is ischemic, it is this, it is that. Okay, all that I find. At the end of the day, he has to cure one fellow at least, which he has not done.
So there are 10% who are actually believing in what you say. But they
I want 100%, yeah.
Not
No, I know, sir, I am fighting the establishment. I am very much aware of it. And I believe this is the only way I can do. Go to each and every nook and corner of our country and have discussions, and this is how I want to spread the word, because the media refuses to do so. I know, individuals, that's what I said, when the system is out of whack, it is individuals who can change. That's what I am trying to communicate. You can go back to your home and you can change your kitchen overnight, and that's what this guy did. What is his name? Surya. All of a sudden he found my lecture, he said, oh, this guy is talking something sense. He went, and then he was very happy. He had this much sponge. He used to make his baby sit on his sponge. Now you have to search for his sponge. So you show that photo. I mean, this is how hundreds and thousands of people have benefited, and it is through individuals we can change.
To watch full video, click on the link given in the description box below. Thank you for watching.